Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your famous author, Mark, currently alive with another YouTube video. Today, I am going to talk about a little bit about myself so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And a lot of friends that I know wanted me to do this YouTube video. Basically, they wanted me to talk about my childhood. What was it like to grow up in Poland under the communist rule? Well, today they're going to get their wish. Well, I was born in Poland in 1977. Okay. My father was a Polish military officer. He was in the Polish Air Force. Now, I came to America in 1988. My father came to America in 1986. And growing up in Poland, let me tell you, because I have a disability, so it wasn't easy growing up there because the Polish communist government did not allow me to go to school with other kids. What my dad had to do was he had to pay a teacher to come to my house and teach me at home. Now, what you have to understand also that growing up in Poland under the socialist communist government, it was not easy either because there were shortages of food. Like, for example, if you wanted to buy some bread or salami or anything else, well, we didn't even have salami at the time. We had, if you had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, you had to stand in line. And if you were the first person in line, if there was food in it, like the only thing we had was a lot of people say that under a communist rule, there was a one salami in the butcher shop, and people would go crazy over it. Absolutely, it was the same way. Plus, what we had was what we call in Polish, we say jedzenie na kartki. That means food on stamps. Like, for example, you were only allowed to eat this much. You're allowed to have this much meat, this much bread, this much milk, and all that other stuff. But the thing is, if the food was available that you wanted, for example, if kibasi was available under the communist rule, then you're allowed to only get a certain portion of it if it was available. Because a lot of times, like I said, the only thing that they had for food was the one salami in the butcher shop. Now, if and in the communist government, what you have to realize is that there is no such thing, ladies and gentlemen, and we didn't have this in Poland. It's like it's called freedom, freedom of speech. And I feel that in America today, a lot of people do take the right of freedom of speech for granted. In Poland, if you spoke out against the government, you got either put in jail or you got deported to Siberia. Now, if you were listening to the Western radio stations such as Radio Free Europe or the Voice of America, then you were and if some neighbor or somebody didn't like it and they told on you to the police, then the communist government will come to your house and they actually would either put you in jail or deport you to Siberia. Now, could you have a car in Poland? Yes, you could if you had the money, but once again, we did not have a choice in buying colors of the cars and all that stuff. If you could put in the money, then the government would assign you the color of the car, what the car would have in it, if it would have a radio, or or not, or and the only choice of Polish cars you had was the Fiat 126 and the Fiat of 125. Both of those Fiats, 126 and 125, were purchased for production in Poland by the Polish government from Italy, by the way. And at that time, like I said, we did not have freedom of speech. The media was controlled. I mean, like for example, if you spoke bad about like the Communist Party or something, you did not last long, very long under the Polish government. Under the Polish government, communist government, you did not last long if you spoke out against it. Now also, we talked about shortages of food, shortages of the government. Like for example, you wanted a telephone in Poland. Great. Guess what? You had to write a paper, and you had to ask permission of the Polish communist government that you wanted to have a phone in your house. Now, now when I was growing up in the late 80s, no, early 80s in Poland, because I came here in 1988 to America. But when I was growing up in Poland, for example, you have all these channels on our TV, we only like you have Fox News, all these choices on cable TV here in America. In Poland, we only had two channels, which was Channel 1 and Channel 2. And when they declared martial law in Poland in 1982, ladies and gentlemen, the government took over the TV, and it's like they canceled the children. They used to have a children's program on Sunday, and then because in 1982, actually the government took over the TV, and there was no children's program, so we actually knew that was something wrong with it. And then I mean, really, now what we have to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about that. To be honest with you, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, my real education began here. I attended grade school with the rest of the kids here in America. I attended high school with kids here. I got my high school diploma here. I finished up grade school, high school. I attended college here. I graduated with 2 college degrees, 1 associate's, 1 bachelor's, ladies and gentlemen, in computer science. So what I'm telling you right now is and plus, despite of my disability, I got a chance to serve in the United States military to the best of my ability here in America. That's right, for 20 years. So I do owe, and I'm going to say this, and I do owe this country a great thank you that I was allowed to do that, because I would not be allowed to do this in Poland. Now, what else? Under the communist rule, like for example, if you wanted to travel, you had to ask the government's permission to travel, and if they gave you a passport, okay, and if they didn't like you, they didn't give you a passport. So, and as an American, when I came to this country when I was 10. After looking back now, ladies and gentlemen, what I feel is that the American people do take their freedoms for granted here in America, because I mean, and what we have to really discuss in this YouTube video is this, that what I do want to discuss with you is that when they say, oh, a lot of people say, oh, Poland's free now after 1989, Lech Walesa freed the Polish people. Oh, that's no. What I'm saying is that the communists in Poland are still there. They do have a large influence on the government, and I mean, because what Poland failed to do after 1989 is they failed to decommunize their for example, their schools. They failed to decommunize their security apparatus and everything else. I mean, now, of course, there's no official Communist Party in Poland, but what they call themselves today is the Polish leftist party. Let's put it that way. Now, what gives me? You may think, what gives me the right to speak about this right now? Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself, and I'm going to end the podcast with this, the video with this. Well, I am a son of a Polish immigrant. Like I said, my father came here to this country in 1986. I came here in 1988. And I do speak the Polish language very well. Tak, ja mówię bardzo dobrze po polsku. That means I can speak Polish language very well. So yeah, I mean, and plus, I like I said, I grew up under the Polish communist system, so I know what I'm talking about. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing, and I'm truly going to end it with this. Now, a lot of people here in America are pushing for what we call socialized medicine. Well, and this is one of the things that is left over from the Polish communist government in Poland now. Poland has socialized medicine now. And what I'm going to tell you now is, like, for example, if you're at the age of 65, 70, and if you need surgery, guess what? They're going to tell you to wait for surgery. And if you really wanted to, like, for example, if you need to a specialist under the socialist medicine, and Poland had this too. Poland under the communist rule had this too, and they still have it, what we call socialized medicine. And here's how it works. Like, for example, if you're over a certain age, I mean, even if you're of a younger age, when you have to go see a specialist, you're going to have to wait for treatment and all these other things. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in my next podcast. Thank you.